Hello everyone, welcome back to Nude Wellness. I'm Selena if you're new here. Hi nudies, it's so great to be back. I like to talk about manifesting through the lens of the law of assumption. Today's video, I want to speak about why you need to stop listening to everyone. Stop listening to everyone in general and stop listening to everyone in regards to manifestation. So fucking important. Before I dive into things, my disclaimer as always, your reality, your rules, take what resonates, discard what doesn't. You are in charge. We're all adults, so just use discernment. Let's crack on, shall we? Please stop listening to everyone when it comes to manifestation, especially if you're at the very beginning of your journey. You are going to get confused. There are infinite ways of being able to consciously manifest. That's why I say your reality, your rules. You get to decide what the rules are. My channel, my vibe is looking after you, prioritizing you, changing you. It's all about embodiment, okay? How I like to do things is the focus is on you because no one to change but self, as Neville Goddard says. So how are you showing up on a daily basis? What are your routines? Do you have healthy habits? You want to get into the habit of looking after yourself, prioritizing yourself, and having a fucking life outside of consciously affirming. That's the first thing, okay? The second thing is, what are your core beliefs? How are you seeing things? What's the stories, the dominant stories you have in your mind? We can come in with surface level affirmations, but you are going to constantly be triggered if these core beliefs aren't congruent with what you want, aren't in alignment. Also, stability, being able to have some kind of nervous system regulation so that you actually have the confidence to decide what you want to create, be able to persist through unwanted circumstances, know that you're the God of your reality, not give up, and still remain stable and calm. That's how I like to do things. And then you get to come in with whatever conscious technique you want to use. Scripting, affirming, inner conversations, I don't know, what else is there? Listening to night tapes, visuals, like all these different things. You get to decide. You get to refine your process as you go along as well, okay? You can start off doing one thing and then realize, oh, maybe I don't want to affirm 24/7. Maybe I just want to do this. Or hang on, maybe I do want to affirm more. Or maybe I want to start scripting. Like you get to change your process. You're God. You get to decide. So please, two things. One, stop fucking listening to every single person. Decide what you want. Figure out a process that works for you, that feels good as well, because we want this to be something you can sustain and you can maintain after you get your manifestation, okay? Like, let's think long-term here. Again, that's why I harp on about embodiment, because the version of you who has created the problem, the version of you who's in the icky circumstance, you need to be a different version of yourself in order to manifest the solution or materialize what you actually want. Like they're two different states of being, two different states of consciousness. You need to shift how you're thinking, how you're seeing yourself, how you're showing up, your behavior, like everything is going to change slightly. For example, if you were to watch my videos or even listen to my videos at the start of my journey, I wasn't even on camera. And you can see my evolution, just this tiny little fragment of my evolution of watching me online. You can see how much more confident I am, I have a lot more conviction in what I have to say. I've got more reps under the bar, like coaching myself, coaching heaps of other people. Like I know what I'm talking about because this isn't just information. This is embodiment. Like I'm doing this on a daily basis and I have done for a number of years. So please stop listening to everyone. Stop getting confused. Just decide how you want to do things. And then the second thing that I want to say is stop changing things. Once you decide how to do things, like sit with that and actually like apply it for a decent amount of time. Because if you're like, oh, this feels good for a bit, and then you kind of get bored and you decide to change something, constantly like changing your process is going to confuse you. It's going to leave you feeling like nothing is working. Nothing is working because you're not changing yourself. So many people come to me and go, X amount of time has passed. And I'm like, okay, tell me what you've been doing. What's your process? And then my second question is always, do you feel like a different person? Because if you don't, that's what we need to be working on. You need to feel like a different person. You need to think like a different person. Because like I said, the version of you who created this issue or the version of you who's in an icky circumstance, you need to be a different version of you in order to materialize change. Okay, so stop listening to every single person that's speaking about manifestation. You get to decide. Please use discernment. Stop freaking out if one person says something that's completely different to another person. Duality is a thing. You can manifest however the fuck you want to manifest. Just because one person says one thing and another person says another thing doesn't mean one's right and one's wrong. They're both right because the law of assumption is the law of yes. Whatever you decide to persist in is what you are going to experience. Common sense. Okay, stop listening to people in general. Stop listening to everyone in general. Why? Because other people will have their own bullshit limiting beliefs that they want to be spewing out at you. Yes, you are God of your reality and you can materialize change, but I don't want to be going like, oh, I have to take responsibility for every single fucking thing that happens in my reality, in my immediate experience. Like, oh, I must have manifested this person saying this. Yes and no. Like, actually separate yourself from people, even though everyone is you pushed out, because again, duality is a thing. You can still decide, you know what, that is your shit and this is my shit, and I don't have to take responsibility for your crappy behavior or your limiting beliefs. If I want to materialize change within you and this experience, yes, of course I can. But I'm not going to blame myself for all of that that's going on. I intend that makes sense. So please stop listening to all these different opinions that people have, especially if you start talking about something which people think is still kind of wacky. Like when I say that I teach manifestation, people go, okay, like woo-woo stuff. And personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with woo-woo stuff. If you watch my channel, I'm kind of in the middle of like woo-woo and logical. I feel like I'm like right in the middle. You can make manifestation as logical as you want, and you can make it as spiritual as you want. You get to decide your reality, your rules. Stop listening to everyone. No one else is in charge of your life but you. Who gives a fuck what their opinions are? Please stop being like an impressionable child. Like actually be an adult and use discernment. Fuck off. I don't want your opinion. I'm not going to take that on. If someone's complaining, yes, by all means, if you want to, be a listening ear, be a shoulder to cry on. But you don't have to take that on. Like you can be saying to yourself in your mind, like, oh, that sucks, but I can't relate. And like, just don't take it on. Someone's complaining about, I don't know, the economy, housing prices, whatever is the common theme that is spoken about on the news. You don't have to engage with it. You can set boundaries. You can remove yourself. You can be saying in your head, like I said, can't relate. Like you don't have to be so impressionable. You decide what you think. No one can tell you what to think. So please stop fucking listening to everyone. Stop listening to everyone. Use discernment. Use discernment in life and use discernment on the internet. Use discernment with your manifestation journey. Like realize this is all working out for you. You can't fuck this up. And at the same time, figure out a process that works for you and be honest with yourself. Are you actually applying this on a daily basis? You can never fuck this up. And because duality is a thing, are you actually doing the work? They both exist and they both can exist at the same time. Okay, that's today's video. I intend that was helpful and just a reminder that you are so powerful and you don't have to listen to everyone. Please stop listening to everyone, okay? Who cares what they have to say? We really don't give a fuck. The I don't give a fuck state of consciousness is the best state of consciousness to be in. Being able to not really care what people say and their limiting beliefs, but not being avoidant at the same time is like, mwah, it's like chef's kiss. If you want to dive deeper into my world, details are in the description below. I have one-on-one DM coaching. I have my weekly membership. Come follow me over on Instagram. You will see all the behind the scenes of my life. I like to document all my fitness journey there. What else? I've started a TikTok. I feel like I'm on all the platforms. Well, I'm on 3, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So I intend that you are able to absorb all the information and you can decide what you want to accept and what you want to reject. I'll see you probably later in the week. Toodles. Bye.